Hey, can I ask you something? When was the last time you felt truly powerful? Not just okay or fine, but like you were really in control of your life, your choices, yourself? If you're sitting there thinking, I can't even remember, you're not alone. So many of us feel like we're just surviving, like the world is asking more than we can give. I've been there too. But here's the thing, that feeling of power, it's not gone. It's still there, buried under the noise, the expectations, and the doubts. And today, I want to help you find it again. Because you deserve to feel powerful. Not someday, not when you've accomplished something new, but right now. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was sitting in a meeting and I had this idea. It wasn't revolutionary, but it was good, you know? Something that could really help. But I sat there, holding it in. I kept thinking, what if they don't like it? What if I say the wrong thing? Does that sound familiar? That moment when fear just shuts you down? Well, this time I decided to push through it. My voice was shaking. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. But I spoke. And guess what? People listened. They didn't laugh or judge me or tear me apart. They actually agreed. And that's when it hit me. The fear is always worse than reality. So let me ask you, what's something you've been holding back? Maybe it's an idea, a boundary, or even a dream. What's stopping you from saying it out loud? Because here's the truth. Every time you speak up, you're reclaiming a little bit of your power. Oh, boundaries? Let me tell you, this was a tough one for me. I used to be the queen of saying yes. Someone needed a favor? Sure. Extra work? I got it. Emotional support at 2 a.m.? Of course. But here's what I didn't realize. Every yes to someone else was a note to myself. No to rest, no to joy, no to me. And one day, it all hit me. I was sitting at my desk, completely drained, thinking, why do I feel so empty? It was because I had given away every ounce of my energy to everyone else. Does that sound like you? Have you ever said yes out of guilt or obligation even when it felt wrong? Here's what I want you to try. The next time someone asks for something, pause. Ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Does this serve me? And if the answer is no, I want you to say it. With love but firmly. I know it's hard at first. I still get nervous when I set a boundary. But I've learned this. The people who care about you will respect it. And the ones who don't? Well, maybe it's time to rethink those relationships. Can we talk about comparison for a second? Because wow, it's everywhere. Social media is like this endless highlight reel of everyone else's perfect lives. The vacations, the promotions, the flawless selfies. And there I was, scrolling through it all, feeling smaller and smaller. But one day I stopped. I thought, okay, what if I stopped comparing myself to other people and started celebrating what I bring to the table? So I made a list, just 3 things I was proud of. At first it felt silly, but then I looked at that list, really looked, and I realized how much I'd been overlooking. So now it's your turn. What's something you're proud of? Maybe it's something big, like getting through a tough time. Or maybe it's something small, like making someone smile today. Whatever it is, write it down, hold on to it. Because your strengths, they don't have to look like anyone else's. They're yours. And that's what makes them special. Here's something I've learned. You can't do it alone. I used to think I had to. I thought asking for help made me weak, or that no one else would really get it. But then I joined this women's group. I was so nervous. I almost didn't go. But when I walked in, something amazing happened. These women didn't judge me. They didn't compete with me. They just saw me. And let me tell you, there's nothing more powerful than being surrounded by people who lift you up. So, who's your tribe? Who are the people who make you feel strong and supported? And if you don't have them yet, where could you find them? Maybe it's a book club, a class, or even an online group. Wherever it is, I promise they're out there. Let's talk about that voice in your head. The one that says you're not good enough, you'll never make it. I've heard it too. Some days it's louder than others, but here's what I've learned. That voice, it's a liar. Think back to a time when you doubted yourself but pushed forward anyway. How did it feel when you succeeded? Or even just when you tried? Confidence doesn't come from being fearless. It comes from acting despite the fear. So what's one thing you've been afraid to do? Maybe it's starting something new, or speaking up, or even just believing in yourself. Whatever it is, I want you to take one step. Just one. Because every small step is proof that you can, and will, silence that voice. I want you to close your eyes for a second and imagine this. What would your life look like if you stepped fully into your power? If you spoke your truth, set your boundaries, celebrated your strengths, and surrounded yourself with people who see your worth. You deserve that life. And it's not as far away as it feels. So here's my challenge for you. Start small, speak up, say no, celebrate yourself. Take that first step today, because you're not just reclaiming your power, you're reclaiming you. And I can't wait to see the amazing things you're going to do. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's rise together. And remember, you've always been powerful.